the more you can master this, the less likely you have to actually use comb that tends to bring in a lot of breakage. And hello and welcome to the channel. This is Trina Claiborne, your 4C hair transformation coach. If you're new here, welcome, and if you are a subscriber, welcome back. And on today's video, it's going to be a short video, and I thought that I'd do this simply because of one of the goals that is included in the menopause challenge. And it's also not just important for that, but also for length retention. So no matter what your hair goals is, length retention is key. Why? Because your hair is always growing unless you have some type of medical problem that has impacted your follicles. So today's video is going to be very, very short. I just want to show you some of the dynamics of actually finger detangling, because the more you can master this, the less likely you have to actually use comb that tends to bring in a lot of breakage. And another benefit that finger detangling does, that it gives you the opportunity to discover any fairy knots. These are knots that it's kind of like when you're getting ready to sew by hand and you want to put a little knot on the end so that when you bring the string through the fabric, it doesn't come all the way through, it stops it. So you'll be able to feel those with your hands. So of course today is the day that I'm actually going to pre-poo my hair, and if you haven't been on my channel, please subscribe so that you won't miss a post and ring the bell. But I went over the fact that before I wash my hair, I always do a pre-poo. And for this challenge, I am using the Botana oil. Okay, and if you haven't seen week 1 of the menopause channel, I'll link that into the description box, and so you can take a look at that. But I wanted to go over this just really quick. Now, this Botana oil, the one that is solid, is good for pre-pooing. And so for me and my hair type, I always take a little bit of it and I warm it up a little bit just to kind of get it to apply a lot easier. And of course, for this challenge, I am using my concoction that has onion in it. So we're going to use this. I usually use that to rehydrate my hair, but before I do, I just feel it to see determine how detangled it is before I actually put the water or the hydration concoction in there. Okay, so just feeling it. Okay, now once you start adding the hydration mix, it's going to reactivate any products that you have in your hair. So once you start doing that, and I like this because it's a continuous spray bottle. These are priceless. Now, one thing I must tell you about these bottles: do not put anything in it that's going to have particles that's going to get stuck in the nozzle, because it will clog it up and there's no way to get it out. At least I haven't discovered a way to get it out. If you know a way to get it out, please let me know. You can put some information in the description box or you can email me. But I have destroyed one of these by doing that, and so I make sure that there's no particles in it. So you definitely want to strain. If you're going to make your own concoction, strain it and restrain it, because I had to do that for this. I strained it, I think, 3 times. So just wanted to let you know that. But anyway, you want to hydrate the hair, and I'm going to try to get it as hydrated so that I can make it more pliable. Okay. Now this is a pretty big section. I got my hair in 4 quadrants, as you can see, but when I get ready to detangle, I'm going to break this down into 2. Okay. So I can, and it's gotten even softer because it's activating all of the other products that I have in my hair. Because doing the pre-poo, I have not washed my hair yet. I'm getting ready to wash it, so all of the moisturizing products, the leave-in conditioners, and any other gels or whatever you may have used in your hair is in your hair. So when you add that hydration, it's going to reactivate those products. So now what I'm going to do before I start to detangle, I'm going to separate this out, and this make even this part a whole lot easier. And the stronger your hair is, the more it could tolerate the manipulation. So I'm going to take that, pin it up. Okay. All right. My hands are slippery. All right, so I'm going to hydrate it even more, because the back and the center is the most thickest part of my hair. I think it's like that with mostly everybody, unless there's some scalp issues. Okay, so you are taking your fingers and you're bringing it down the shaft of your hair, and you want to do a little bit at a time. And you can feel now towards the end of your hair is going to be a little bit more rough typically than the top part, because it is the oldest hair. So don't be alarmed by that, but that is the main reason why you definitely want to keep your ends hydrated and moisturized throughout the week from wash day to wash day. Okay, so I'm just taking my fingers and I'm rubbing it down, and also doing this is going to allow you to pull out shed hairs, because I'm pulling out shed hairs. I'm not sure if the camera is picking that up, and you know shed hairs are way longer. That's how you know it's shed hair. It's long and it's not broken off. I don't know if you can see that or not, but that is shed hair. Okay, and then as you continue to do this, you want to feel for fairy knots towards the end. And in this section, I don't feel any fairy knots. And then I just like to separate it out. Now the separation is allowing you to get the majority of the detangling, especially towards the root. So you just slightly taking it apart. You're not aggressive. Be very gentle with your hair. And the stronger your hair is, the more you can do this without a lot of resistance and feeling like you're tearing your hair out. Because as I do this, and especially being on this challenge and doing Ayurvedic products, my hair has gotten so much more stronger. Okay, and you can feel the difference. And I'm feeling the shed hairs that's coming out. These are very long hairs. I mean, okay, so it allows you to do that as well. Now I'm going to take my botana oil and just start adding that in. And I'm going to I coat my fingers. Now it's going to get a little messy especially if you melt it a little bit. Okay? Now I do take the bowl and I dip my ends in it, just to really coat them. And I take the hair and I cup it just to keep the dripping down. Okay, and then rub it here. That's what I do, and rub it back on the hair. That's just to keep the messiness down. You be creative when it comes to that, especially if you melt the botana oil just a little bit. But for me and my hair type, that makes it glide down the shaft of my hair way easier. And I also like to take the oil on my fingertips and make sure I really rub it on the scalp, because this botana oil is really good at regenerating hair follicles to give you more growth. So I definitely make sure that I get it on my scalp, and I do this for each section. Okay, and now before I actually two-strand twist, I will go through another session of finger detangling with the same techniques. Okay, and I can feel that this section is saturated with the botanical oil. It feels lovely. Okay, so I'll finger detangle once more. And do know that as you finger detangling and you coming across a lot of fairy knots that may be an indication that you might need to get your ends clipped. And also when you do a 2-strand twist and you twirl finger coil the ends, and if it doesn't form a beautiful perfect curl, then that is also another indication that it may be time to get your ends clipped, just so you know. Okay. All right, so I can feel that shed hair is coming out still, and you'll feel it throughout the entire thing. So that's shed hair right there. I'll see if you, I don't know if the camera is picking it up, but that is shed hair, which is a good thing. Okay. All right, so I'm very satisfied at the finger detangling that I've done with this section, and so I am just going to do my 2-strand twist. Now some of you may do a 3-strand twist, that's your preference. But I prefer this because I am going to wash my hair. That's the next step, and I like to wash my hair in these sections. The same sections that I'm creating with this pre-poo is the same sections that I will use when I actually start to wash my hair. And then I just twirl it up. And that's basically it. So for time's sake, I'm going to go ahead and finish the rest of my head, and then I'll show you the final step. I got oil. Yeah, be careful because it slings in your eye. Okay. Okay, I'm back. That was fun. Anyway, with the botanical oil in my eye, I'm gonna, now that I slung that, let me see if this will help. Oh yeah, that'll help. So have some of this, have some eye drop available in case that happens to you. Okay, before I finish this last section, I wanted to share this with you because I did come across a number of fairy knots. And with fairy knots, you definitely want to remove them out of the hair, right, to keep it healthy. So you're going to need a pair of hair scissors. Now these are scissors that you're not using for anything else, that they're pretty sharp, because when you cut the hair, you don't want the hair to cause any fraying on the hair, which is going to cause split ends. So I got this from Amazon. It's called Koo La La. I'll have a link for that in the description box. Now after I use these, I clean them very, very well, and I put them back in the box. Now this came with a comb as well, just so you know, and they have different colors, and I got the aqua color. But what I do is when I feel that I do have a fairy knot, I isolate it. And that's one of the good reasons to do finger detangling. All right. So, and I just peel away all the other hairs and I isolate it. Okay, so I can feel that on there. Now, does this take a little bit of time? Yes, it does. And you just clip it away. Okay, now after I use these, I would definitely wipe them off and I'll put them back in the package. But I just wanted to show you that in case you do come across fairy knots, you definitely want to remove those. And you know, I guess the best time to do this is maybe when you're just relaxing and you're taking the time with your hair, you're having a me day, doing self-care. This is the time that you really want to do the pre-poo so that you can take care of the fairy knots, because that does take a little bit of time to do it, and I encourage you to do it. Okay, so we're all done with that. Now, for this pre-poo session, this is all the shed hair that I got during the pre-poo. So I'm not sure if the camera can pick that up, which wasn't a whole lot. Okay, but I'm glad to get rid of that because it was going to leave me anyway. But it is Sunday afternoon and I have a 3 o'clock meeting, so I'm not going to go to bed right away. But of course I will be wearing a wig, but I'm going to go ahead and put my plastic bag on because remember we do have onion in the hair, so I'm going to seal it up well enough that it doesn't seep out. So I'm just going to take my hair and put it in a bun in the back to lift it off of my neck, right? So I just lift it off of my neck like that. And then this is my Detangle oil. So I make sure I keep it on the same side when I have it hanging up, so that I'll make sure that the oil is on the inside of the bag, right? And because I am going to be wearing a wig, I put my stocking cap on it. That's just another layer of keeping it from sliding around on my head from the dollar store. And I will be sleeping in this overnight. So in the morning, I will be doing week 3 for our menopause hair loss challenge. Okay, so that is it for this video. This video should be up before Wednesday, I'm hoping. But I will be working on week 3. This is the beginning of week 3. So if you haven't subscribed to my channel, please subscribe and ring the bell so that you won't miss the post. And definitely let me know if you're joining me on this challenge. I would like to know your thoughts, your experience if you have hormonal hair loss, menopausal hair loss. Share that with us and some of the things that has worked for you. But thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you on the next video. Be blessed.